guys, thanks for watching 205 Kitchen. This is a Sunday afternoon and we're going to make a Sunday afternoon meal. So if you just watched, I just made a video on how to make my pasta where I made a fettuccine, homemade, super simple, super easy. You should go check that out. Next I'm going to be making Tuscan Chicken Pasta. So what you're going to need is, and I'll write the exact amount of ingredients in the comment section, because again I'm doubling this recipe. But you're going to need a package of chicken tenderloins. You're going to need probably around 5 to 6 cups of baby spinach. You're going to need about a cup of parmesan. Now, do not use that grated parmesan or the pre-packaged parmesan cheese. Go and grab a regular block of this and shred it yourself. They put some sort of, I don't know if it's some sort of chemical or silicone on it when you buy it in the bag, and it really doesn't taste right to me. When you get used to kind of grating your own cheese and you go and eat pre-grated cheese, it doesn't melt the same. It just doesn't taste good. So grate it yourself. It's really easy. Doesn't take but a couple extra seconds. And but you're gonna need about a cup of parmesan. You're going to need heavy cream. Again, I'm doubling the recipe, so probably around 6 cups if I'm thinking right. About 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to mince those up real well. And then other than that, about 4 tablespoons of butter, or half a stick of butter. You'll need some sun-dried tomatoes drained. They're in this oil, so you want to get that out of there. You're going to drain those. They'll go in there as well. And olive oil. This is a pretty simple meal. Then of course you need your pasta. That'll be at the end. Pretty simple meal, but man, this is really good, packed with flavor. Also some Italian seasoning in there as well. And of course you're going to season salt and pepper, season your chicken and all that. And we'll talk about it as we're making everything. Let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to start off with our chicken. I want to prepare that first. If you haven't seen this trick, it's a pretty cool trick. So you get these chicken tenderloins, and this is mainly geared for people, that are learning to cook like myself. You see this little tendon that's in there. So if you see that, it's all of these pieces are going to have that. Now, if you had to bite into that, that's going to taste about like a shoe. So you don't want that in your food. So you can try to cut it out. That may be possible, and I think that's what a lot of people do. Some people may just leave it there. I don't know. Maybe when you always wonder when I go to restaurants and I get a piece of chicken and it just tastes like a real chewy piece. I always wonder if that's what that is. Or you can do this little trick right here. So what we're going to do, and I have to do this for all of them, so I'm going to show you on a couple, and then we're going to go on to getting it prepared. We'll start with this one, and maybe a little bit easier. So all I'm going to do is take my fork and sort of isolate it within my fork right there, just like that, if you can see it. Now I'm going to take a paper towel. I'm going to pinch, and I'm going to pull, just like that. That is the entire tendon. I'm just going to set that to the side. Actually, set it right there. And as you see, I didn't have to destroy that to get it out. Just kind of ripped it right out of the center there. All right, so I like to chop my chicken up into 1-inch pieces prior to seasoning. Everybody does this a little bit different. It's just my own little personal preference. I'm just going to kind of cut these into 1-inch pieces. It just seems like it gets seasoned better, coated better. I don't know. I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll get them seasoned. All right, next we're going to get this seasoned well. All right, so I'm going to start off with a little bit of salt. This is kosher salt. It's a little bit bigger flake. It's not quite as big as sea salt, but it's a little bit bigger. You want to make sure you coat this stuff, okay? Nobody wants to bite into under-seasoned chicken. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of pepper, just kind of sprinkled. I didn't have my my regular pepper, so we're going to deal with this stuff here. A little bit of that. And now, this is the Southern Flavor garlic seasoning. Now, I'll coat it kind of heavy with this stuff on both sides. We're going to flip it over in a second. This is going to be packed full of flavor. Nobody wants to bite into under-seasoned food, trust me. This will be seasoned well. I'm just going to flip all this over and do the exact same on the other side. Be right back. Now this recipe called for 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to go ahead and do 5 just because. If you see these are, if you try to peel garlic, it's kind of a pain in the butt to peel. So what I do, the trick I learned was this. You smash it one time, and you'll see that just sort of peel right off. These are actually pretty big cloves, so 4 may have been plenty. Pretty easy. I'm just going to mess these up. I'm just gonna get all these prepped and get them in a little container, and once everything's nice and mixed up, garlic. Got our minced garlic right here. I'm gonna go ahead and this is Parmesan cheese. All right, so we're just gonna kind of grate about a cup of this Parmesan cheese. Again, don't skip this step. I know it seems easier to go buy a bag of, you know, pre-shredded cheese, but they put something on that, some sort of silicone, or I don't know what the chemical is, but you can, if you eat it without that a few times, you'll notice that this is going to melt better and taste better. There is a difference in taste. And I didn't realize it until we had, you know, shredded our own for a while, and I had to go to the store. I was in a rush, and I bought some, you know, regular shredded cheese, bag of it like we'd gotten over the years, and it was disgusting. We threw it out. Couldn't eat it. That looks like it's probably about a cupful right there. I mean, it just took a few seconds to do anyway. It's not very complicated. All right, I got my pan on medium-high heat. I'm probably gonna have to do this chicken in 2 batches because it is a good bit of chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and cover the bottom with olive oil. You know, we're not deep frying, so we want it to cover, but we don't want it to, I just want to coat the bottom of this pan. Just like that. Just coat it well so we'll have a good crust on this chicken. As soon as that oil starts to smoke, we'll be ready. Now, if you make the mistake of dumping the chicken in before this oil starts to smoke and it's hot enough, it's just not going to do right. It's going to be soggy. It's not going to create a good crust. So you want to make really sure that this oil's hot enough. Yeah, I think we're there. Oops. Oh, yeah, there we go. Start out with that, and then we'll just do a second section. Sure it's all in contact with the bottom there. See a piece that just doesn't look like it's seasoned enough, just hit it just a tad. Chicken's ready to flip over now. There we go. Yeah. A little brown to it. This is easier to, if you do it, you know, a lot of people will cook it first and then cut it into these cubes. I like to do it this way. I know it's a little bit harder to do. It's a little, as far as cooking, it's a little more tedious to turn each one of these individual pieces, but you get a much better seasoning, I think, in my opinion. We're just going to let this cook until 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, I think we're done here. Yeah, 165 degrees internally. Get crust in there. You don't want to burn this to get it off before it's done. If you look at that, perfect. All right up here. We're ready to move on to another step. Back in a few. All right, now we're on the final stretch here. We've got our pasta water heating up. It takes a while in this pan, so I went ahead and started this part earlier. I'm now melting 4 tablespoons of butter. Once this gets melted, all that garlic that we minced up earlier is going to go in. Now here's the deal with this. You need to be kind of careful with this garlic. You do not want the garlic to burn. Make sure you have plenty of butter. We're going to saute the garlic for about 30 or 40 seconds, and then I'm going to add all of this. I'm going to add some baby spinach to it, a good bit of baby spinach. It'll look like a lot, but it cooks down to a little. Kind of funny. So we're going to go in with We're going to add this garlic in now. Should get it all in there. And let that garlic sort of saute. You want to go till it starts to get fragrant. You don't want to go much further than that. You do not want to burn this garlic. Can't state that enough. I'm going to add some sun-dried tomatoes. Now these have been drained. I'm doing 2 6-ounce cans, and of course I'm doubling my recipe, so this is twice as much as you actually need. Now we're going to add our spinach, which is a lot of spinach. Don't let this freak you out, because it looks like a lot to start with. May not all fit in there the first try. That looks like a lot of spinach. Promise you this will all work out. This is just all going to wilt down. Mix that garlic up over it now. You see it's wilting pretty quickly. That garlic butter hits it. I'm just stirring it because I don't want that garlic to burn. Almost there. You said the spinach, this whole thing was full just a second ago. Now it's almost wilted down to the point that I'm going to add heavy cream. And this is Tuscan Chicken Pasta that we're making. Just about there. It smells delicious already. Alright, so we're going to start adding in our heavy cream. This is going to be 6 cups, so I know that I'm going to go 1, 2, I don't make a mess doing it. And I've got another one. So this has 4 cups already in it, so I'm just going to go straight in. We're going to bring this to a simmer. Again, I'm making a mess. Don't do like me with that. Alright, now we're going to bring this to a simmer. Y'all, this smells delicious right now. Just going to stir it up. Right. As soon as this comes to a simmer, we will move to the next step. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the heat. Now the cheese goes in. This will melt super quick. It's also helped thicken up this pasta a little bit too. So you have to, be careful when you're stirring it when it's bubbling. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some salt. Now I just know from previous measurements that's about a teaspoon right there. Add some pepper. This is all to taste. I'm going to taste this once I get it stirred in. I'm going to put a little bit of Italian seasoning in here. You give that a good stir. And be right back. Alright, so my pasta water finally came to a boil. So again, some of my pasta is starting to stick together, even though I used all that flour. It's just been sitting here for a while. I probably should have maybe rolled it out later, but it's still pretty good. I think it'll be okay. I'm just going to give that a good stir real quick before we get too far into that. You see it was clumped up at one point. It's all came apart now. Good. I was getting kind of worried about that. Anything that I feel it's really clumpy, it just comes out. We don't use it. I made that mistake, like I said, about 6 months ago. It clumped up like that on me, and you don't want that to happen. Okay. A little bit right here that got wasted, but I don't want to take any chances with it. You can give that a good stir now. We're going to let this pasta go for a couple of minutes. Get back to stirring this. I need to do a taste test. Good. Now a little bit more seasoning in here. Pasta's almost done. You see it's cooking up well. I mean, this is what you want right here. I'm going to drain most of that here in just a minute. We're going to add our chicken. The pasta's just about done. Chicken goes in now. Oh, that's perfect. Well seasoned, well everything. I'm going to say our pasta is just about done now too. In just a second, I'm going to go ahead and drain this pasta. And now your pasta is going to go in and give it a good toss. We are done. It's got dishes to do, that's it. Got to eat and do some dishes. This will make a delicious, I mean absolutely delicious Sunday dinner. And it takes me a little while to make it when I'm recording, but really and truly from start to finish, your pasta is going to take about 40 minutes to make, 45 minutes total. And that's the, part of that time is the pasta resting in the refrigerator, or not the refrigerator, but resting on the countertop. This Alfredo and this everything else that we're making, I mean, this is 10 minutes. This is not very long. The chicken takes a few minutes, just time to, preparation, and then cooking is, not very long at all. The tender ones are really thin, so they cook pretty quick. All right, I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to clean up some and we'll get a plate ready. And this is the final result. All right, now for the taste test. Let's see what we got. That is delicious. Absolutely delicious. You guys got to try this. Tuscan chicken with pasta, fresh pasta. Anyway, thanks for watching 205 Kitchen.